I think we're back. I think I got it restored. It's gonna be the downfall of the back and forth between Xbox and PC playthrough as I'm constantly switching profiles on Streamlabs and may not be tinkering with the right one. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if anybody in chat can hear this, and if you hear, I guess we gotta do our gun test. Boom. Sounds like I need to mess with these volumes a little bit in game. I've been doing a lot of filming lately. The voice is good, effects are up. Can hear me just fine. Sound is good. Hello, folks. Fantastic. So just a fair warning, going to be a short stream tonight. I have to be up at about 4:30 tomorrow for a flight. So I am just going to do maybe like one big quest. Like I think we're on, yeah, Resurgence, and Resurgence is a pretty meaty quest. So we'll see. I'll go for probably an hour to 90 minutes, but can't go super late. But I'm on a roll. I haven't missed a stream in a while. I want to keep that up. And I have to travel a lot over the next couple of months, so I want to make sure I can squeeze in these streams when I can. And so far, I think most of my travel lines up to where I shouldn't even miss many streams. Not a lot of travel on Wednesdays, but a lot of travel starting on Thursdays. So this might happen again, where I'm like, sorry, I got a flight in the morning. But it turns out Thursday, really cheap day to fly. Don't know why, but I'll take it. I'll fire off a few more shots for you guys. Let me know if that volume is good on those before we get rolling into doing quest stuff. Wait, did I? I did have to reload. I was worried I was in God mode still or something. Though that is making me think, while we've got this few minutes before we start, because you guys know me, I like to start the questing once we hit 9 o'clock, or whatever hour I schedule for. We should run to DC and get the boring stuff out of the way, like buying ammunition for this shotgun, since I'm going to need it.
Got a beer on you?
I do not, Crow. Sorry, buddy. Quiet gun. Okay. Alright, I could turn up the game volume a little bit. I had it turned pretty far down, I think. Let's see. I just don't want everything to go over top of me too much, but we'll crank that up to like 75%. See if that's a little better. Alright, let's find our...
car in the yard. How about I hammer you in the heart with a haymaker?
What do you got for us, Percy?
Good you can...
Let's see what you have.
The highest...
Alright, we need shotgun shells, looks like. There's ammo. Alright. You cannot have our caps. I will take yours, though. Actually, what other weapons am I using on this character? Shotgun and jet. That's right up my alley. Righteous 30, 750 rounds. Okay, we're good there. This is not my pistol character, right? This must be a typical rifle character for me. Let's see here. What do we got? We got toughness. We got lone wanderer. We got rifleman. Okay, cool. Do I have a perk point? Is that why everything's flashing, or is it just letting me know this is the next rank is available? No, I don't think I have a perk point. Okay. Oh, yes, I do. Level up. I don't even remember what else I was doing with this character. I've just got all of, oh, I guess I went all in on Scrounger there. Transfer game ammo when firing the last round in your clip. Plus 10% damage. Here's more often in VATS. Oh, I know. I was grabbing, I think for this character I was grabbing perks that had interesting, what do you call it, dialogue checks. So I was hanging on to one, I think, just in case there was a fun dialogue option that Sir spliced in there that I should grab. Alright, I think we should probably wait for Arturo to wake up. So let's pop the squad over here. You were going agility and perception. I think that was on my That was on my Xbox character. That's what we're gonna constantly get confused about this. Carvac working on a settlement for Chapter 3, which is an outpost, and loving it. Awesome. Yeah, I was hoping it would have. Oh, I guess I can't wait on this chair. I was hoping it would add some new stuff to focus on, like kind of change the.
You need something, Scav?
Break up the stagnation, because we've been doing city planning contest for what? This is year 4, closer to year 5, because some of the seasons went really long. So, and we did them for SS1. So I guess really like. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, it's just saving. I was like, why am I stuck? We've actually, because we've been doing city plans, then like the contest and everything. I don't know how long you've been involved in them, Carbach, but I guess we've been doing the plans since year 2 of Sim Settlement. So for like 6 years now. It's a lot.
If you're looking to keep your load light, we can shoot the breeze about the old-fashioned pistol or anything else you need.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Self-defense at its best.
Give me the ammo. Oh, 44. Here we go. All right, give me those. And you can have these. And these. All right, I'll be right back. I got to close the door to our laundry room. The dryer's really loud right next to me. There we go. Lucas Carmelo. Hello, King Gath. Love your mod. Is my favorite. You've done a great job. Greetings from Argentina. Greetings to you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. We have a lot more to go, though. That's why there are going to be patches. I'm going to be, in the same way I just said, I'm going to be trying to keep squeezing in streams whenever I can. Same thing with patches. That's why we had the rare Tuesday patch. Then that Tuesday patch is why I still don't have... I still haven't moved over to my new PC yet, so we're still going to play on this clunker here for a little bit longer. But I realized, like, with my schedule, the way everything was going, there was just... we were going to have, like, 1 patch a month if I didn't get one out this week. So, and I didn't want that. I like the... When we're in this, like, phase of primarily working on bug fixes, I feel like that every other week is a good pace. It's enough to test things and make sure that people aren't getting stuck on their saves for too long if they've got a deal breaker bug. Had an epiphany about a couple of things that we should have. Well, I squeezed in one fix for the last patch, and I have another one coming up for the next patch. But one of them was those of you guys who have had saves where Jake just refused to appear. 99% certain it's because of Creation Club content, and so I put a little workaround it when you load the holotape. It'll just try and reboot all the SS2 framework stuff, because that is what makes Jake not appear. We were looking for conflicts, but somebody finally sent me a save that had no non-SS2 mods. It was just SS2 stuff, Workshop Framework, and Creation Club content, and Jake would not appear. So I was able to work back from that. But all right, welcome everybody. It's 9 o'clock now, so we can get at it here. We're going to do a shorter stream tonight. Focus is going to be on Chapter 3 quests, and we're definitely going to do this next one, Resurgence. I don't know how much further we'll go after that. I got a flight early in the morning, but I wanted to get a stream in, so we're going to pick up from where we left off last time. I can't recall. I may have said we were going to go do... Okay, wait for the intercom to stop talking. I may have said we were going to do a vanilla quest and then come back, but because of the short stream, we're going to focus on Chapter 3 today. So we're going to get into Resurgence, which is where things kind of take a big turn in Chapter 3 here.
I've always found the red rocket stops to be almost cozy.
We've got a lot more idle dialogue now, so I'm curious how that's going to impact. Whoa.
Good.
Everybody did a little crazy snap animation.
What's so important it couldn't wait until the next department meeting?
Always the charmer, Aiden. Over the past few days, we've been getting a lot of reports in from settlements and contacts. Sightings of strange things far out in the ocean. After discounting all the usual crap, it turns out what people have been seeing out there are ships. Sailing up and down the coast.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
You're still thinking like someone from the past.
Nowadays, even small fishing boats are rare. But whole ships in the middle of the ocean? That's almost unheard of.
Dog meat making a great cameo there in his doggles.
Is it really that unusual?
Everyone knows Commonwealth waters are considered no-go
That helmet I'm
zones.
still rocking.
Besides, being irradiated, they're filled with mirelurks and worse.
Not to mention anything floating out
Baseball
there is
brothers for
considered
life,
fair
Jake.
game for target practice. The only people who venture offshore are either crazy, desperate, or well prepared for trouble.
I think I understand.
It takes a well-organized group to maintain and operate something like a ship.
Right. Now, I didn't want to jump to no conclusions, so I went to the coast myself. You know, see if I could spot anything with my own eyes. And I did. It was far away, but managed to snap a few shots with my camera. Take a look for yourselves. I know it's kind of blurry, but that symbol on the ship's hull. It looks awful familiar, don't you think?
We were getting so close. The first time that the camera sequence played there, I thought for certain we were going to just crash into the table, because we have very little control over those dialogue scene camera movements.
You can't be saying what I think you're saying.
I wish I wasn't. But it sure looks like...
It's a gunner ship. They're back.
Easy now. Nothing we can't handle.
Yeah, you're right. We defeated them before, we can do it again.
But sailing ships up and down the Commonwealth coastline? Why would the gunners do that?
Oh, I love seeing all these perk checks we're going to hit.
They must be looking for something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Those gunner ships, they're doing recon. They're scouting the coast.
But why?
My God. They're planning an attack from the sea, aren't they? We've been so busy watching the roads and air, we didn't even think to keep an eye on the water.
Oh, man. If the gunners decide to come at us from the sea, do I even need to say how bad that would be for us?
How bad?
Real bad. I mean, they could deploy troops anywhere along the coast. There'd be no way to contain them. Gunner soldiers could sweep over the Commonwealth within a matter of days. And even if we did manage to hold them back, they could just ship in as many reinforcements as they needed.
Then we need another option.
Yeah, but what?
Well, if those scout ships had done their job, by now the gunners will know that, besides the castle, we got diddly squat protecting the coast.
Would the castle be enough?
I doubt it. At least, not without some serious renovation and upgrades.
Huh. Assuming we're right, and these sightings are a prelude to invasion, we could start seeing inbound troop ships very soon. But, if we're fast, we could turn this to our advantage. Hey Jake, got any ASAMs laying around?
Well, both of them got Patchy Beard
Where you're
today.
going with this?
You building something?
We use ASAMs to build a new outpost. A military installation, with artillery specifically designed to track and destroy any ships that stray too close to the shore.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, Aiden. If the gunners are gonna come at us by sea, and they think we're vulnerable, they'd send all their troops at once. They'd be expecting no resistance, and then BAM! We hit their ships with everything we got.
Hit them before they hit us? I like it.
Wait a minute. Artillery? But that means we'd be killing a lot of people.
This isn't
Or
like
innocent
when we
Lupe.
assaulted the plaza. The gunners on those ships would know full well what they're getting into. I got no problem with us blowing them out of the water. Not if it means protecting the Commonwealth.
It's your call, Chief. But speaking as a former Minuteman, I think building this outpost is our only option.
Cool. All right, well, I'm going to try that.
I get to set up a new base. That's cool.
Was hoping you'd take this a little more seriously, but can't fault your enthusiasm.
I think we're all in agreement. We build this outpost, protect the Commonwealth from any kind of ship the gunners decide to throw at us.
where do we start?
That's a good point. We'll need to pick a location. Well, don't suppose anyone's got a suggestion?
I'm told there's a small landmass just off the coast, Spectacle Island. Settling it has failed in the past, so gunners would expect it to be empty. It would offer the best view of the ocean, and with the right fortifications, could make a formidable stronghold.
I know of a settlement near the sea. They used to trade with Vault 81. The Warwick Homestead. The area is on a peninsula and has a mostly unobstructed view of the ocean. With a few extra walls, it could easily be made defensible. Although we'd have to negotiate with the family living there. Convince them to join with us.
Hey,
The elevator ding. That's because it's right behind my character.
It's got those huge walls. You've already rebuilt its artillery.
It must have
and
hit a
it's
shift
got
change.
Great view of the harbor and ocean. Make a few repairs, toss a few ASAMs in there, and figure out a way to track the gunner ships, and we'd be good to go.
Those all sound like good options. What do you think, Chief?
Ding. I think we gotta go. I think I already have castle, so we'll go with that. Actually, I wanna. No, I want to build one of the city plans, so I guess we'll go Spectacle because that's my favorite of the designs.
Spectacle Island would be a good choice, and we've already got control of the place. All right, you sure this is where you want to build the outpost?
So whatever city plan we got there, about to get nuked. Maybe for that reason, because I'm betting I'm using a city plan there already. But I also don't want to have to go through. I don't want to go do the Warwick quest. So yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then let's do this.
I'll start organizing all the departments, get them ready to start coordinating on this. As for the artillery, we can use the same schematics you found in the castle. A few of those should be more than a match for any ship.
And I can begin moving ASAMs and supplies to the building site. But don't worry, we'll wait for your go-ahead before starting construction.
Good thinking. The Chief should survey the area at least once. But I'm not sure I'm comfortable with you being out there by yourself.
I'll keep an eye on the kid. I'll need to advise on the construction anyway. Might as well do it in person.
All right then. The Chief, Lupe, and Aiden will head to the site. Everyone else will get everything ready here. Let's get this outpost built and give those gunners what they've got coming.
Lupe's a pain. Oh, come on.
She seems to be able to handle herself. Why are you worried?
Recently there's been murmurings of a rise in raider activity. I'd just rather be safe than sorry, that's all.
We'll be much better able to defend ourselves. It's a good position.
Yeah, you picked a good spot for sure.
I just hope we can get everything built before the gunners make a move.
I have full confidence in the abilities of everyone here.
Attention.
All right, everybody breaks. Okay.
Report to the basement.
You know what? I don't think I ever chose a flag. Artillery strikes. So basically the reason this pop-up is here, even if you've already got them unlocked, is the Minutemen by default, unless you have a mod to change it, only work in, well, at least based on code. Maybe in practicality they do work correctly, but looking at the code they only work in the Commonwealth. So now ours basically just ignore that and bypass it. And you can use them in, like, if you go set up settlements in Var Harbor or Nuka World with them, they should work there as well. HQ flag select. Do we have any unlocked? Sure, we'll use the Minutemen flag. Why not? I don't remember. I don't know who we're going to use for this. For the, we'll set it as our Empire flag. Yes, and change all existing flags. Let's see if there we go. Minutemen flag. All right. So what is our next objective then? So I need to get to Spectacle, right? So let me catch up on chat first because we're not going to do our post-play chat this time today because, again, don't have a ton of time today. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? Oscar Friday, think you'll ever add a holotape to the mod that's full of voice line bloopers? No, I don't think we'll do that. I think if you want bloopers, you'll have to get them from Cobus.
Took control of Somerville Place. Hey, is Tommy and his 2 kids still there?
Let's see here. Jade Johnson. Been missing some streams thanks to Starfield, but don't want spoilers. Love everything you and the team do. I'll get caught up soon. Have a great stream. Oh, probably just a message and leave. So thanks, Jay. Going on down. Comments from Dave CGS. Dave says, found a small bug. I will report. And where there's smoke, if you have them on see-through scopes, will basically give you a black waiting screen when you arrive at the gunner site. That should have been resolved in... that should have been resolved in the latest patch. We... or the patch before last, actually. I finally removed the player is no longer AI controlled during that sequence. So I don't know why... I don't know why that would happen, but maybe it's just a see-through scopes thing, and that's why I can't replicate it, because I only tested in vanilla. The HQ has one blunt razor that everyone has to share. Yeah, I know how to fix that issue. It's just updating faces is it's a little awkward. All right. Oh yeah, I got 11 people over in Spectacle. I wonder what we have built over there. Wait, why can't I travel? I bet there's respawn gunners or something around here. Let's go check over here. I hear plasma rifles, so that feels like respawn gunners. Wait, what is that little symbol down there? Am I addicted to jet? I'm not shocked by that. Yeah, okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it sounds like gunners respawned up on the roof.
Let's jam.
Get him, Clough. Oh, missed some gunner symbols on the old cleanup. I'm pretty sure I ran the cleanup project. Maybe I didn't. Let's check. Oh, I forgot that clear. I have Workshop Plus now, so it clears the weather. Let's see. Yeah, you guys got this. Don't worry about me. Yeah, the cleaning projects are all done, so we either missed some gunner bits or some of them are stuck in the pre-combine. Yeah, we'll believe either. Hey, bud. Nice. Finish him. Let's take the shot. I love when the corpses get stuck in weird ways. There's a lot of that goes on in Starfield too. If you so many times I've blasted the jetpacks off of people and they launch right up into the ceiling and their head just gets stuck up in the ceiling. It's glorious. Alright, who else we got? What else is respawn? I wonder if the turrets are respawning too. Yep, that is what happened. And they both got quickly destroyed. Great. Alright. What we got down here? Caravan guards, cool. Okay, now we can try this again. Spectacle, here we come. Alright, back to chat here. Have they had their models changed recently? Oh, Jake and Aiden. No, it seems to be like just sometimes you load the save and that happens. We know what causes it. There was a bunch of forum posts of from when the game first came out. Apparently it's a vanilla issue. There's some of the mouths in the base game. If you use those as the face, in the face, if you use specific mouths, it causes that bug, and we happen to use that mouth for a whole bunch of characters. So there's like 3 or 4 mouths that have this issue, and we chose one of them. So, and I need to just switch it over. I had done it for our trailer because like we couldn't have that patchy beard, or the patchy beard would have been fine in the trailer. It was the fact that sometimes you would load the save to shoot a scene and they would have the issue, and the next time they wouldn't. So it was very, very jarring if they would, because sometimes we'll cut several times in the same scene in the trailer, so it'll be real awkward if the facial hair just keeps disappearing. So like as it is for us while we're playing it in the game, but worse so in a trailer where you're spending all that time editing. And so I had fixed it for that, but it was only in a special plugin for the trailer, and I never merged it in because there was just too much other. When we make really dirty plugins when we're doing trailer stuff, like it's just like the quick and dirty to get things moving, because it'll be our filming guy Pontus will be working away, and then something will block him, and then so whoever's available grabs it and takes care of the little issue and gets him back up and running again. Let's see. Oscar Fire, can I build an outpost on all 3 spots, or would that be overkill? You can, yeah, absolutely you could. And yeah, I think we have it programmed so that any you don't control, I think the gunners will take from you of those 3 eventually. I can't remember if it's just a chance they will. Starpress HKM, in my save on Xbox Series X, the Med Lab has purple windows. You know what's causing it? I only have on some settlements 2 needs. No, that's actually, what's funny is those windows you're talking about, those are actually a vanilla game texture. So perhaps it's the way we're using them in a texture swap the game doesn't like or something. I'm not sure. But we have a few weird texture issues on Xbox. But that one's very confusing because, excuse me, it's not our texture. Like the ones that are our textures, I understand. The issue is the weird compression that you have to do for Xbox textures, but we didn't compress that one. Whoa. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
You guys are good?
Look about you.
Good, you guys are all become soldiers. Alright. Let's talk to Lupe. Let's see, am I... When you build the exterior defenses, those fences get fixed. Oh, so I think so. I wonder if some of those fences have the gunner icons built into them. I didn't realize it when I set up the gunner cleaning, the gunner logo cleaning. Praz Library Settlement is getting an outpost. How many beds do you think you should have? I was thinking 60. So we actually have had a lot of talks about how many beds, because we're in a couple of weeks we're starting up the city plan contest again with outposts, and we were talking a lot about how many beds we should have people build in them, because you have to assume that players who are building outposts are going to take some number of the soldiers out. They're going to be like stationed at territories or vassals or with the player in assaults, so it's very rare that you're going to have all the people at the outpost. So you know, if you're looking to make it stable, I would say aim for like 50% more settlers than the area can handle, or than the area would be stable with, and that I think should be fine, knowing that most of them will be out and about. That's kind of where we settled Karbach. Inconsistent errors, the worst to bug fix. Yeah, absolutely. That's why some of the bugs that you guys have been reporting to me for literal years are probably still here. Either they were too innocuous to versus, like, it was either the juice wasn't worth the squeeze because it was a small bug that takes too long to fix, or we just can't replicate it repeatedly, and so making meaningful change in that direction is a pain in the butt, or is not fruitful at all. Would it be difficult to add a jetpack to SS2? I mean, I guess not. Isn't there a mod already that adds a jetpack? But I don't think that that's in the cards. It just feels there's already a mod that does it. Easy to install, won't conflict. Didn't somebody release? I think there was a cross jetpack like within weeks after the game came out. It came out real quick.
Hey there.
Okie dokie. Looks like everything's ready. Just need your go-ahead and we can begin.
Need anything before we start?
I think we have everything we need. And if not, we can just have the HQ send more. Huh. Sure is nice having a whole team to back you up, huh? So, ready?
Of course. Go ahead.
All right. It's building time. First things first. Would you rather direct
that it's building time,
or leave it to me and the work team instead?
I can't help but it just takes my mind to Power Rangers. It's morphin' time. You build them.
Yeah. You should be the one to do it.
No problem.
I'm actually curious how long this is going to take.
First, we'll build some artillery.
Because it doesn't look like I have a city plan. Looks like I must have either built this manually, or maybe it is a city plan and there's just barely anything here.
With the HQ and keep an eye on the sea. Also, we'll make sure to build plenty of walls, turrets, and lots of martial plots too. And then we're done. I'll start getting the work crews on task, and Aiden can help with the fortifications.
Looks like you got your hands full. I'll leave you to it.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Using the ASAMs, this shouldn't take too long. Feel free to supervise. Okay, let's get to work, everyone.
Okay, bring on that cinematic mode. Let's get to work, everyone. Aiden just goes and stands at attention. This does not look like a city plan, but this also doesn't look like something I would have plopped down either, so I'm very confused here. Like, I don't think I would have taken the time to build that. And that building over there is floating, so I don't know what's going on. Did I check the build limit first? I did not. We should go do that over here. But yeah, that looks suspicious as hell. I don't know what is going on here. Alright, wait. Where's the workbench? I thought it was in here. Oh no, that's right. It's in the middle of the island. Yeah, it definitely looks like I had done something here. I vaguely recall using the... oh, there we go. I vaguely recall using... I don't think I would have used the basics. Maybe I used our OTC one. Well, we'll never know now because now it got replaced. I guess I could roll back my save, but probably not gonna. I think the basic plan would have had way more plots, Carl. Because I think the only thing I can think of is maybe it was the ROTC one, because the ROTC one was from a Masters. Because that one we didn't actually build. That was Indy's Masters entry for the very first Masters contest. He let us use that for ROTC since we never had a spectacle build. And I remember you guys doing Masters tend to do pretty dramatic changes between the levels, so I wouldn't be surprised if their first level was pretty minimalist. Yeah, the floating building was just one not being finished being removed. You're right. It just was. I didn't notice it start disappearing as well. But I really like this design that Strong did for Chapter 3. Taking this little hill and turned it into a nice little fortified area. Yeah, I think this is my favorite too of the three. I really like how he identified this part of the terrain as being slightly elevated, and then of course he enhanced it, added in some rock formations and found what do you call them? The terraformers to make it a little more dramatic, but it still ends up looking really cool. It's like a little castle up on the top of the fort made out of junk. But yeah, I could absolutely see us being at the build limit already. I'll have to check on that after we're out of here. But clearly it's got enough to go, so. Could be the plots get stuck. We'll give it a minute or so still, because I know there's so much under the hood that has to happen with these, especially if there was already stuff built. I was making the city plan guide video just over a week ago, the one that just went up a couple days ago, and I remember just I kept filming it several times, and then I would was stalling for time almost, starting to ramble. I was like, I'm not supposed to ramble in these videos, and then start over again, because I was just trying to line it up to where my speaking would be done by the time it was done building the city plan. I'm like, oh well, I need to teach people how to exit when this happens anyway. So then I adjusted my spiel a little bit, and just once I ran out of things to say, just went to the okay, now we'll exit. Here we go. So if you're wondering how you exit, you just open your Pip-Boy and close it when you're in cinematic mode, and it will pre-terminate cinematic mode. And as long as it looks like everything is mostly done scrapping and you're just seeing things appear, you can safely exit cinematic mode. You can even leave the settlement. The settlement will build fine remotely. It's just scrapping that you have to be here for. But it looks so cool to watch the settlement appear while you're up in the air. Yeah, the castle design was really cool. So the castle design, well, all three of them were originally intended to be part of this big giant battle. And the castles in particular, there was a lot of time spent on that, and then that battle got cut. But we had this battle, so we ended up working in our favor. But originally when we were working on SS2's story, I don't think we weren't gonna have a way for you to beat the main game, but we were gonna have like this big epic battle involving some of the main factions, depending on like who you sided with. And so instead it was like before we were deep into the Gunner storyline internally. And so based on the pitch of that battle that would have involved the vanilla factions, we had strong designing these settlements for this big war that was going to happen against those factions. And so there are some elements in all three of the designs that will hark back to that. Like there was going to be a moment in there where we were going to have like a wall get destroyed, like a big set piece moment. And so there's probably like a large wall that was intentionally set up so that we could destroy it in each of the settlements. I think it's the one in Castle, I think, is the one that fills in the big gap. But yeah, that's enough waiting. We'll pop out here. Now with this one in particular, popping out early isn't necessarily useful because we need the plots to build, which is usually what's happening at the end when you're getting stuck there. And so without Lupe's plot building, which is used in the quest, we're not going to go anywhere far, but we could at least kill the music and wander around manually, and then I can try and keep up with chat a little bit here. Oh, and I can check on our wait, where is the workbench? Is it incorporated into the design? I don't actually remember.
My back hurts.
I think it might be.
Everything hurts.
I believe it must be, because I don't see it over here. Carbach, I like this. I only like this one. I think they're all good, but I have built the castle in the other locations a number of times, and I prefer my raider style. Nice. Oh, well, here's some construction. All right, let's check our build limit here. Oh, actually, I guess I have to pop in workshop mode to see what it is. Oh yeah, full on. All right, let's up that a little bit. Add 100. There we go. More space to build. All right, guys, get at it. Oh yeah, there we go. So we're basically just waiting for this. Once this one finishes, the story should continue. But yeah, I'm trying to remember where, if we still have it in here, but originally in the design, in the quest design, Jake was actually going to be here. And then that got rewritten. I don't remember why, but... We also have a lot of these city plan builds, like Strong has asked me on multiple occasions to finish up the in-game plot design tools so that he can take a lot of the design work done in these city plans and convert them into building plans. Maybe one day. Like, this is just asking to be a interior bunk plot for outposts. Or interior bunk building plan, rather. Come on, Lupe. Wrap it up. Where's our artillery, guys, too? That's the other part. The other one I can tell when the scripts are done, because the final script will snap all the HQ guys into the artillery. So we can just kind of wander and wait for everything to finish doing its thing. Refresh city plan now. You can have missing bits. Refresh the plan. No, I'm not going to refresh the plan. That's always that's risky business. Unless you mean the building plan, I can refresh the plot. I'm not going to refresh the whole city plan, though. Refresh the plan, Kez Daddy. Oh. Why do you guys want me to refresh the city plan? I'll refresh this plot. Oh, but look, it's all stuck. Wait, what is going on here? That's definitely not the design. All right, we'll refresh this. Yeah, I can tell by the speed of this refresh that there's just a lot going on still. So I need to just chill a minute here. One of the things somebody pointed out, let me check if that's the case on here, is, oh yeah, see, that didn't build because of resources. So somebody pointed out that they think the what do you call it? Gameplay, city building. I'm gonna have to go here because I can't remember the name. Involvement setting might be broken, is what I hear. So that the local settings are not always being set correctly. So like right now, this is stuck because it's waiting for resources, and it should not be. It's supposed to be, you know, by default, it should just go to. I think that's what we need to do is make sure we have caravan services. So let's find our municipal plots. Got that one up there. We should have another one in here somewhere. Here it is. So let's make sure this guy builds. Oh yeah! We don't even have 120 welding material. Okay, let's go scrap some stuff. Uh-oh. Nick Carter's is being played on your new PC. No, I opted to use a lot of my free time this last few days to get that patch out on Tuesday. I did not intend on the patch. So the plan originally, like based on the schedule of events that was supposed to happen both for development and in my life, was that the patch was supposed to come out last Friday, and I just couldn't I didn't have time to get it tested, didn't have time to hand it off to anybody. Like it was basically done on my computer, but to package it up and upload it and get a public beta going is not a fast process because it's like 5 gigabytes. So even just internet speed and like the time it takes to 7-zip it, it's like I gotta have half an hour spare just to do that. I just couldn't find the time, so it got delayed, and then that caused me to not have time to mess with my PC. So I've said this before. It's a real conundrum when you get to a point in your life where you have enough money to buy all the games you want to play. You don't have enough time to play any of them, and that hit real hard this last few weeks. Because I actually had, because now with the Xbox thing, I always have 2 weeks potential to mess with stuff like that, but ended up using that time to patch instead. So I could see the same thing happening again between now and the next 2 weeks. There's so many things I'm trying to get done. I'm really like pushing to keep our bi-weekly patch schedule and have periodic giant patches. So I have to like divvy up my time, and I did a lot of work on the 3.1.0 patch. Got some of the new mechanics over to testers. Got some cool new stuff coming. Some very big code improvements. I've got all the documentation done for unit types so that modders can start releasing new soldier options for your army, which I think will be really cool. To see what kind of crazy final battles people end up with when they got a whole bunch of mod added soldiers. Choo-Choo was experimenting with the tutorials and has some Captain Cosmos power armor troops, which look pretty awesome. Oh, my sounds are working again. Good, good, good. Well, thank you for the donation, by the way, Kaz Daddy. I was just trying to figure out why everybody wanted me to refresh the plan so bad. Speaking of donations, guys, Super Chats for Charity is returning. It should be next week, but if it's not next week, it'll be as soon as possible after that as possible. So, I guess I didn't need to say that. As soon as possible as possible. As soon as possible, the voice actor for Teresa will be our guest next time. But Teresa's voice actor has a little bit of a head cold right now. So we're like, all right, well, let's put it on the calendar for Wednesday. And then if you still don't have your voice... Because obviously, voice actor having a cold is bad news for Super Chats for Charity. You're not going to get the full performance. So we need our VAs to come on with full vocal range to be able to pull off the awesome quotes you guys have them speak. So, but as of right now, it's on my calendar next week after the Xbox stream. Will be Teresa with Super Chats for Charity, which I'm very excited about. More building materials still. Are you serious? I wonder if we're not connected to a caravan. Maybe we're too far. Yeah, that looks like it might be it. Did not consider that we might be too far out. Let's check. Go over here. No, it says operational. It doesn't say that we're out of range. Let's check our map. Supply lines. Yeah, it's not connecting to the castle. Oh, there it goes. Just updated. Might have just been a little bit of a delay there. Okay, let's go try that again. So we should have boatloads of building materials. Yeah, 33,000 on the network. There we go. Alright. Refresh this bad boy. Start construction. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I think I have to analyze what's going on with the involvement settings. I don't know if they're not working or if they're being forced to match globals for everybody. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna figure it out. So one of the many things on my my ticket list to take a look at. But that'll be one of those fixes that will feel like a triumph. Like, I hope I'm right that the Jake thing is fixed now as of last patch, because there's just a few bugs on my list that are like top 10 fun killers that I want to see dead. I really should. I read about, I saw a video about it. One of the original creators of the Fallout franchise does like a vlog series now on YouTube. He's been doing it for, I don't know how long, maybe a year, maybe less, maybe more. But he's been on YouTube that I've noticed recently, and he did one about, he used to have this whiteboard with like top 10 features he wanted to ship with and top 10 bugs, and I kind of want to do that too. That's a really cool idea of like keeping those in mind at all times, because then they're like little things to celebrate. I know he did it as a way to assign them to people, but I think it would also be cool just as a reminder every day. Like, I have a giant whiteboard behind my computer for when I'm brainstorming. Nothing beats the physical like size of a whiteboard. Like the doing stuff in sketching in like mind mapping software and stuff is cool, and it's nice that you've got it with you, but there's something about the scale of a whiteboard that's extra special. Jason Locrans, thank you for the donation. Thanks for the stream. Finally started chapter 3. Awesome. I hope you have a very stable and bug-free playthrough. Carver, does that mean the spawners you can build in the WRK for factions will work again? No. That is going to be a ways off still. So when we were laying out, well, I was laying out the cycle of like what stuff we should do when, I basically took the stuff that I knew was going to throw a massive wrench in all the other systems and pushed that to the back half of our patches. So we basically we planned out the next 7 major patches. So 3.10, 3.20, 3.20, 3.30, 3.40, 3.50, 3.60, 3.70. Don't have specific dates on them, but we've got like rough targets. And in each of those is like just like massive features, like big overhauls, like HQ 2.0 style, or like here's a big bunch of new quest content, stuff like that. And some of the things, like the faction invasion system, which is what you're talking about with those markers, and the pre-build system got pushed in the latter half because those are going to cause so much ruckus and everything else that it's like, all right, well, first we need all the bug fix patches on those existing systems so that we're not fighting on 2 fronts, right? I don't want to have to be fighting the new code plus bugs on the old code, so I would like to push those massive systems toward after we've got the current stuff all kind of maintained. And I think that's what a lot of people have been asking for, of like the people who are very skeptical of our chapter release cycle are like, just fix what's there first. And in one sense they're right. I still argue that we got to have the exciting stuff to keep us motivated, or we will get bored and not want to work on it anymore. But I digress. Let's get at it. Let's go to talk to Lupe here.
Excuse me.
Nothing to say? Oh, she's still trying to sit.
Hi.
Let's see here. What do we got going on? Talk to Lupe.
That's it.
There it
We're
is.
done. What do
A
you
little
think?
delayed.
Did we make a good outpost?
It's pathetic. I don't remember what was it. I think it's my hard mode character where I'm playing mean. So that'll be whoever resurrect hard mode, which I will one day. But I figured at this point now, I need to just finish all the mechanics before it's worth going back to. Because there's the same reason with the city plan guide or the SS2 guides. I'm focusing on the stuff that's done, so settlement mechanics. Because going over war and HQ mechanics that I know are going to change dramatically, I feel like is kind of an exercise in futility. It's just going to end up redoing it all later.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
You're exaggerating. But if what you said is even half true, we must have done a good job.
Considering how fast we built it, I don't think we could ask for better. It'll serve our needs.
Meet Lupe at the comp station. Done. It's probably waiting for her to path. Come on, you can do it, Lupe. There you go.
Okay then. Let me just establish
That's our
a connection
backup
with HQ.
snap.
Then this
I actually need to
outpost
add that to some other
is
quests.
officially operational. This will just take a few moments.
Sounds like we're already in contact. You work fast, kid.
That's nothing to do with me. Or the radio tower. I'm still setting everything up.
Huh. Maybe it's Jake checking in by radio?
I would kill to turn off the whatever feature Bethesda has that spins the player around all over the place. It's super jarring.
Jake.
Listen. No. Hi. Much. Inbound. Action.
I don't think that's Jacob.
Must. Forwarding. Interception.
Who are you?
Ally. Fight.
Fleet Lead, this is Spearhead Command. Captain Lamont requests status update on fleet position. Over.
Command, this is Admiral Hewlett. Carrier Drake suffered engine problems and has fallen back. Rest of fleet in position and holding. Over.
Good to hear. AGs 2 to 12 are poised and ready at Weymouth Ruins. Secondary land incursion will begin once your fleet is beached and troops unloaded. Please confirm landing locales. Over.
4 troop ships each to Phillips, Nahan, Revere, Nordhagen, and Wollaston Beach. 2 additional to South Boston Port if tide permits. Over.
Understood and confirmed. Stand by for go-ahead. Captain Lamont will contact shortly. Then begin Commonwealth assault. Over and out.
More Intercepted Gunner comms. How'd you do that?
I'm not sure.
Either way, just got some valuable intel. Sounds like those gunner ships are right at our doorstep.
Hey, guys. I've finished establishing the link to the HQ.
Jake, this is Aiden. We just received some intel.
Yeah, I know. We heard it too. That message was being piped to the comm array. Just don't ask me why or how or who it was from.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, you're right. We've more important things to worry about. Actually, now that I think about it, thanks to overhearing those gunner comms, we can now probably pinpoint the exact location of the gunner fleet. Knowing the exact location, artillery should be able to take out every ship with just one volley. Nice and clean. Everyone killed in one strike.
Give the signal to open fire.
Let's do it.
That slick. Feeding telemetry data into the comm right now. And that's it. We got the coordinates of the gunner fleet. We are good to fire.
Syncing with the comm array. Okay, we got it.
Nice. I love when the timing lines up good. It's sketchy as to when it will. You know, I just realized we're gonna pop a quick save, Because we had this happen a couple times in testing. I've had a few people report it. It's very rare, but sometimes the reaction just doesn't seem to want to happen. And I had no idea why. It's like the AI just gives up. Oh, there was the explosions.
Ha! Take that, you gun scum.
Lupe, what does the radio tower say? Did we get them all?
Yeah, we hit the fleet. But, wait. There's something...
I think one of the other reasons this is one of my favorite is... Oh, there we go, that's working.
Jake! Multiple gunner aircraft. I think they're heading to the HQ.
Shit! Mansfield, get security on the roof now! Missile launchers and Batmans! Go, go!
Where did those aircraft come from?
I don't know. Maybe there was another gunner ship? Not with the fleet?
What are you waiting for? Find it and blast it out of the water!
I'll try. Just give me a few minutes.
Sir, we clipped one of the Vertibirds. It took damage and was forced to land. Gunner troops are inbound.
Damn it. Lupe, keep working. The chief and I will deal with the gunners.
Here we go. Get that jet ready. What hotkey is that on? Yep, up. Perfect. I think it's over here. Anyway, what I was saying, this is one of my favorite designs because it does a really good job of making you naturally look to where they're going to fly in. Which I really like. Because I hate having to force you with the camera if we can avoid it. Oh, we got a little floating item. Nothing to see there, people. Pretend it's not there. I was wrong. It's not that way. It's this way. There they are. Apparently we won't be helping them. That's just the turrets are going to take care of them before we even get to them. Aiden going to come over and say, good job.
That was the last one. Good job. Let's check in with Lupe.
I'll take credit for clearing them all.
I've almost found the last gunner ship. But it's far away. I think it's a carrier. The radio tower is still scanning.
Hello? Is anyone there? We need help.
Mansfield, it's Aiden. Where's Jake?
He's on the roof with the others. They shot down some gunner fighter planes, but there's a Vertibird circling and we can't take it down.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh, I've not even told you the worst part yet. Jake thinks that the Vertibird is carrying a nuke.
What? A nuke?
Jake suspects that once we run out of ammo, the Vertibird will make a pass and drop it right on top of us.
Damn bastard gunners! They can't take the HQ back, so they're gonna blast it instead!
I'm needed on the roof. Whatever you do, please hurry. We can't hold out much longer.
Damn it! We need to get back and stop that Vertibird!
No argument from me. Let's go.
Hey, why don't we take the gunner Vertibird that landed nearby? I can probably get it airborne again. Then we could fly it back. Maybe use its minigun against the one trying to drop the nuke?
That's good thinking, kid. Come on, let's go.
Oh, but wait. What about the carrier ship? It might send more aircraft. Someone needs to stay and fire the artillery once the radio tower gets a lock.
Fine. You stay, the chief and I will...
No. Neither of you know how to fly a Vertibird. Aiden, you stay here, and I'll fly our chief to the HQ.
Okay. I'll take care of things here. Get moving.
I guess we have a plot hole for anybody who uses the fly your own Vertibird mod. Like, I know how to fly a Vertibird. Alright, move. Move, security. You're about to get blasted. So let's roll. Alright, now if I can figure out my bearings here. There we go. I think this is the right way. Or am I... Is this the same way I went last time? I think I just went the same way again. I don't know why I can't get my... It's because I don't have a landmark to work with. Okay, so there's the Pridwin. So yeah, it's got to be... No, it's on this side over here. It's toward the Pridwin. Oof, need to get that endurance up. My man can't run. There it is. Alright, let's see. Did Lupe make it? There she is. Sometimes she has something to say here.
I don't know how stable this Vertibird will be. It's better we stay way under its weight limit. Sorry, but your friend will have to stay here.
Later, dog meat.
Flight checks, starting engines.
You sure you know what you're doing here?
Pretty much. I mean, I flew a remote control plane once. These controls don't seem that different. Just bigger. Yellow blinky light? I think we can ignore that. Okay, hold on tight. Here we go. I think we're good. Leveling off. We're not too far from the HQ. This shouldn't take long. You might want to test that minigun.
Oh yeah.
Make sure it works.
We'll be blowing up some cars. Thank you, Lupe.
We're getting close. I can see the HQ.
Slick! Is that you up there?
It's us, Jacob. We're here to stop that Vertibird.
Oh, thank goodness. We're running out of stuff to shoot at that damn thing. Well, you two need to be careful.
Oh,
I think
clipped
that
it a little.
Vertibird's coming.
A nuke, we know. But it's not as if we have many options. Okay, I see the enemy Vertibird. Get ready on that minigun. Damn, it's out of range. Hold on.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Get him in here. Oh, oh. Oh, that's our shadow. I was like, I see him. I see him. Come on, catch up. Let's go. There he is. Oh yeah, we're not gonna be able to hit from that. Come on. Alright, so one of the things that I think a lot of people miss,
I think this thing has missiles. Let me know if you want me to fire them.
and I just realized why, it's because all these signals are up there spamming, but at some point you get
Missiles away.
told about... Wait, did it not fire? Oh, there it goes. Got it. Couldn't see it. Eventually you get, sometimes you get told, let's see if it pops up or if it's, we're getting too much spam for you to see it. The, you can actually force Lupe to turn the Vertibird around. If you hold all the way to one side or the other for a moment, she'll spin the other direction. So you can spin her back and forth, and there it is. Aim your in again all the way to right, left side, hold for several seconds, trigger Lupe to turn the Vertibird, circle the opposite direction. So I don't know if that was enough. But
I'm on it. Firing missiles. You got it.
But that feature doesn't get enabled until you get that prompt, so I think now we should be able to do it. It's not always worth it, but occasionally it can make this go a lot faster.
I'll need a couple of seconds before I can launch a missile again.
Alright, turn us around. See if
Hold
this
on
works.
tight.
There we go. Yep. And a lot of times, because the Vertibird's path is like
Down here. We won't be able to keep that boat away for much longer.
slightly... Whoa, thought the nuke just went off. I think that was just a car blowing up. The other enemy Vertibird's path is slightly wider than the player's one, so you can often get better shots going the other direction.
Firing missiles. Ha! Nailed it.
Nice. Oh, I'm so glad I fixed her spam. When we launched, she would just talk non-stop, and it was really irritating.
Missile's not ready.
We had this big dramatic, complex cooldown system, and it was so complex I just I couldn't wrap my head around my own logic anymore, so I just rewrote it from scratch for a
Back in
patch.
range. Fire away.
Get him! Oh, that missile was so
Good
cool. Oh,
hit.
it did hit. Oh, there we go. Oh, beautiful.
We're going down!
Lupe!
Lupe! Slick! Slick! Slick!
Whew, so glad that played. The number of times in testing before Nihar changed the animation where it would do some weird stuff. See if we get any weird stuff here too. I've seen some really funny bugs on people's Let's Plays with this portion.
We shouldn't be wasting medical supplies. They're the enemy.
Irrelevant. These men are under my care. If you don't like it, take it up with the chief.
Very funny. Speaking of, how is he? Any changes?
I've done everything I could. But trauma was severe. Only time will tell.
Shame you guys can't afford blankets. I hear like a subtle beeping. I can't tell if that's like a stuck sound effect from the previous scene, or if that's someone put that in here as like, you know, like the hospital monitoring tools, or if I'm hearing it in real life and maybe you guys don't hear it. Maybe it's in my house. Well, this is taking longer than I expected. I'm going to try... Okay, yeah, I don't have any prompts up. So we'll let it run its thing. So one of the things that's going on here behind the scenes, while it's all black and why this takes so long and why we have... Part of why we have the cutscene, there is so much that happens here. So in the background, like during the scene, from the moment it fades to white to this...
What? I was...
basically the whole gunner war is rigged up and triggered at that moment.
Thank God. When your Vertebird went down, I thought I lost you. You got banged up pretty bad in the crash. You've been out of commission for 3 whole weeks. How you feeling?
Alright, just confirmed the sound is coming from my headphones, so if you guys can't hear it, then I might be going a little crazy, but it's definitely, I don't hear it when I take them off, so my smoke alarm is not going off.
No. No, that's not possible. I wasn't out for that long.
Now, I know it may not seem like it, but you were. And if it wasn't for Cassandra, you would have been out for a lot longer.
How bad?
It was pretty bad. Broken bones, ruptured organs, and a real nasty blow to your head. We weren't sure you'd wake up.
I have this burning feeling inside my skull. It's like it's on fire.
Ah, yeah. After the crash, you were suffering from something cranial pressure. Cassandra had to operate on you. Try not to move around too much. It should help. Now, if you feel enough for it, I believe I owe you a delayed thank you. Thanks to you and Lupe's Vertebird heroics, the HQ was spared nuclear annihilation. Well, mostly. There was a bit of radiation to deal with. But the gunners didn't have time to properly arm the bomb, so the fallout was minimal. Good job, Chief. We all owe you our lives. Oh, and before you ask, don't worry. Lupe's fine. No idea what that girl's made of, but she managed to come out of the wreck with barely a scratch.
You look tired.
I didn't want you waking up with no one else around. You know?
Where is she?
Lupe? I think she's in the commissary room. She's been covering a few of my shifts for me. You know, I've been down here.
I'm glad I got here in time.
You're not the only one. Hey, now that you're awake, there's something I want to talk to you about. Remember a while back when I said that maybe we should wait? You know, before we tried to pursue intimate things.
Oh, that's right. Whenever I put the vote to the audience, romance always wins.
I'm listening.
Well, the reason was I was worried. Worried that all this gunner business would just get in the way. But when I saw you laying in that bed, I realized what a terrible mistake I had made. that if anything, because of all this Gunner stuff, well, the time we have is precious. What I'm trying to say is, I don't want to wait no more. I want to be a partner. And I don't just mean business partner.
I just noticed there's an end romance option there.
Finally.
I won't do that to you guys.
Sorry it took me so long. But in all seriousness, this is something I want. I think it's something I've wanted for some time now. You're very important to me, sir.
Break his heart. Come on, guys. Poor Jake. Is it because none of you have the balls to do it in your own saves? You need me to do it for you? That's what we can do in my my mean playthrough. We can flirt with him and then crush his dreams when we get to this scene. Our love is professional. Oh, what?
Hearing you say that means a lot.
All right, back to business. At least for now. Now, I know you've only just woken up, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but... Well, since your accident, things have changed out there. The Commonwealth is a mess, and you need to know what's been going on. I'll go gather the rest of the staff, let them know you're awake. So when you're ready, make your way to the meeting room and we can fill you in. And again, it's good to have you back. Things just weren't the same without you.
Where am I?
Oh, right, of course. You haven't seen this place since we fixed it up. Right now, we're under the HQ, in that new area we found. We needed a bigger infirmary, and the space was free.
Glad to be back.
Don't forget to grab your stuff. It's in the locker near your bed. See you in the meeting room.
Yeah, that animation gets a little weirdly delayed sometimes. Nihir came up with this new method of doing conversation animations for this to kind of emulate what they do in a lot of scenes in Cyberpunk, where the NPC will be talking with you and they'll be doing like idle animations, and then in response to the player picking an option, then they'll do a new animation, and it's like very seamlessly done the way they did that. And apparently Fallout 4 has support for that too, and Nihir was doing some stuff with it, but there's some oddities with timing, like he is supposed to say, you know, point to the chest as he's saying your stuff and everything. And then I wanted to look at something. There was, I don't know if you guys could see it in the bottom right hand corner of my screen, there was like a weird floating couple of triangles. And I'm trying to figure out, I need to figure out what I'm wearing, because I don't think, so either it's the wedding ring or the sunglasses. Nihir, if you're watching this, we were trying to figure out what would be causing that first person animation bug. And I'm wearing almost nothing, so it's got to be one of these two, I guess. Maybe the wedding ring is part of the cause. But anyway, it took off all the rest of my gear, so... Alright, let's put this back on. And then I need my helmet. Where's my... Wait, was I... There's no arrows. No, I was wearing the Gunner Commander gear. Feels fitting to be fighting them and wearing their former boss's armor. Alright, so that was Resurgence. Played pretty damn good. I think the only hiccups we really had there were some little animation funkiness, which is pretty typical for the game. But I think we can eventually work out those like weird little triangles that were floating there. But this whole quest was like us going crazy with ambition of things like, can we make the engine do that? Like the whole crash sequence of figuring out, could we do that? Can I manage to make the HQ hangar cell do all of its like build up and trigger the war in the background that takes over all the settlements and puts gunners everywhere, all within like a 1 minute sequence. And so yeah, we kind of pushed the limits, which is why probably a lot of you have this not playing out quite as beautifully every time, because this is a lot more than this game engine was intended to do. But I think it was worth the try, and I think we can still work out a lot of details. It's a hell of a lot better now than it was at launch, that's for sure. We had some amazing playthroughs before we launched, and then of course fix one things and 10 others break. So by the time we got to actual launch, then things weren't quite as pretty, but yeah, they played out pretty darn good. So the next quest we could immediately go do is A Faction is Born, which I won't do because it's a pretty lengthy meeting, and like I said, I gotta cut this stream short tonight, so we're gonna just do that quest, and then I think the next time we come back, I'm not sure if we'll do that quest because the rest of, I wouldn't say the rest of it. There's a large swath of the SS2 quest, which is kind of like designed so you're just bam, 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 and playing it all at once. And once I start into the war mechanics, it's very hard to veer off without constantly getting pulled into battles and such. So I think we're going to next time probably go tinker around with some more of the vanilla factions so that we have them prepped for ally ships, because it's kind of like it's the best time to do it is going to be now. Like once we get into the next quest, things kind of get a little more hectic for the rest of the chapter 3 quest line. So I think this will be a good time to pause and switch gears over to that. So let's go ahead and make our save. Now I'm going to hang out because I want to go back through and answer all the chat that was happening during Resurgence, because I basically went silent for all of that. So LP day 41, end of session. So we have this. All right, let me scroll back up to chat and see what I missed here. Cyto 404, speaking of final battle, if you do the Minutemen ending with all 3 factions alive, BOS always appears in the final scene of the battle instead of the Minutemen. Yeah, that was by design. So, so we have during like one of like the last big spectacle quest in chapter 3, there's a moment where one of your factions shows up and, like, we call it the cutscene moment, and it does like this big display of power, and we have something designed for all 4 major factions, but we have them in a priority queue of coolest to least cool. So the Brotherhood is flagged as like the coolest one to see. So if they're among your allies, you will always see that part of the cutscene, just because it's so much better than the rest. Like, I'm not going to spoil what happens in it, but it's just way cooler than what happens if you have the other factions. So yeah, that's by design, Saito. Brian Christian Abrigo, bug question. Why is it when I reassign staff in HQ, the choices, which are the people I assign in HQ in the barter menu, are either duplicating or just can't reassign sometimes? It's just it is because we're forced to use a barter container to trade with proxies of people. It's basically like it's an excessively complex system to solve the problem, but it's the only method we really have without custom UI. So I don't know. Does anybody use? There's a settler management mod that somebody put out for SS2. It requires F4SE, and it's really pretty looking. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but the creator's name on Nexus is Lyra, and I'm curious if that works in HQ, because like that, like obviously we can't have everything that I have in SS2. We have to have support for people without F4SE. So, but yeah, the reason that is buggy, it's just a complex system. So it's natural that the more complex the system, the more likely it is to fail. So I have tried tweaking with that a million times. I have some other ideas of things I can do, but I doubt it will ever be perfect. It's always going to be a little bit clunky. So the savior will be if you're on PC, you've got F4SE. There is a better settler mod out there, but I don't know if it lets you work. I don't know if it works in HQ yet, or if they intend on making it work in HQ. So. Oh, Twitch chat. My apologies. As always, I'm terrible with Twitch chat. Quad Johnny, good evening. I'm sure that was from the beginning of the stream. Kerr's Life, first time chat. Hey guys, English is not my first language, so please be patient with me. I only want to say thank you, King Gath, for the awesome mod stuff you and your crew do. I really appreciate it. Have fun and productive stream. Cheers. Thank you, Kurt's Life. Appreciate it. Oscar Fry, why do you bring up hard mode? You gave up on hard mode once already. I didn't give up on hard mode. I gave up on survival, and I put a pin in hard mode. Hard mode, that was just because I wasn't streaming. Right? I don't remember why I switched over. I think it was because I needed to get an Xbox playthrough going. I was having so many people tell me it was impossible to play on Xbox that I wanted to see it myself. It was like, all right, well, let's find out what's wrong. Let's get it fixed. And the best way to do that was just bust out my old Xbox and give it a go. So the hard mode playthrough will resume eventually, but right now 2 going simultaneously is enough. You guys can see how much I struggle to figure out what talents I'm using or what perks I'm using. Every time I boot up with just 2 playthroughs, we had a third in there. I'm going to be pretty paralyzed. So the hard mode is not dead. The survival part of it is, though. I do not enjoy the survival part. Let's see. Oscar Fry, I know it's possible it can't be done, but it'd be cool that instead of crashing and cutting to us waking up in the MASH unit in the game, cut to Preston, and we use Preston to run a rescue team to you. Yeah, it's complex, and not like we're talking about complexity failures. That's more complexity, more failures. It's already tough to get. Like, I'm so glad that scene played perfectly for me, but I know the other ways it can play. Fortunately, I think we've got it. It'll still work even if it doesn't play perfectly. Like, I think one of the things that can happen is you can just fall to the ground and then you cut to black, like instead of playing that whole animation. And I'm pretty sure it still runs even when that happens. I remember we spent a lot of time, like the first 2 quests got more attention than probably I think the first 2 quests and the Battle of Quincy probably got the vast majority of our time designing and bug fixing and stuff because they were so complex. So we already have got hundreds of man hours in this quest. I'm not going to add more. Though that would be cool. If we could do more complex stuff easier. Like if the game had like an animation system instead of just just the AI run scene system, it would be more realistic to do cool stuff like that. But right now it's like every time we plan out like an animated staged sequence, it requires a whole bunch of people in the room discussing what's possible, and then a lot of testing and trial and error and redesigning level spaces, and it gets messy. It gets messy fast. And then when you're talking about outside, which is where a scene like that would have to happen, like then that's the other reason. One of the things we were able to do with the crash and the cut to black is we have no idea what height the player's at or where they will be around in their circle. So like even though we fade to white and we could technically move the player, like we decided not to because moving the player, Lupe and the Vertibird all together and then queuing all this up, like that there was a risk of a teleport load screen triggering, which would complicate things further. So there's just a lot of factors that went into, like, I don't think we could design that sequence any better than we have, other than finding more ways to prevent it from failing. Like that would be the only thing we might dream up eventually. Too large. Did you hear the collective dreamy sighs of everyone in the audience? I assume that's for the oh yeah, I see before that Carback saying end romance. Yeah, maybe we'll do that in the mean playthrough. But I think that was the hard mode one. I think it's the one where I decided to do all the angry responses to Jake, so we can get the real bad ending. Although interestingly enough, I think there's a pretty bad ending, even if you are nice to Jake, available. You'd have to be pretty mean to him later, though. Like if you're nice to Jake up till this point and then shift gears, I think you can get a pretty terrible ending. But there's quite a few ways things can play out in this chapter. So that was one, and that was kind of always by design of like we kind of have to force the player down a pretty linear path in the early chapters, because the sooner you fork the quest line, the sooner you add like meaningful player choice, the more paths you have to like flesh out, or you have to like artificially pull them back in. Like for example, like the Aiden versus Jake path it plays the Battle for GNN slightly different, but like the end result, it ends up kind of coming back. Now there is payoff to that later. There is there are checks on what you did for that later throughout the mod, but it doesn't start a whole new storyline, because it would be so much more work. And so like we had to save the like significant player choice moments that would branch the story in some way till chapter 3. And I think that's how most games end up doing it with their narratives, because they came to the same conclusion that it's like, oh my god, the amount of craziness that would have to happen to make this pay off in the way that the player wants. That's actually one of the things I'm curious about. I hear people like ranting and raving about Baldur's Gate 3 and unprecedented player choice. Now you can kill so many people and stuff. I'm curious how that pays off in the main quest. Like if it's just a matter of, well, you just keep going anyway, and so none of the it doesn't mean to the main quest, or if there's just a million branching paths in the main quest. So I'm very curious to see what all the praise is on that front, because now having designed a pretty significant quest line, I'm just I'm in awe of any quests that branch significantly because it's so much work. You need to add a hospital nightgown for this mash grain. Yeah, that was on the to-do list, but we do not have like a main team outfit designer. We either do mashups, we get permission for other mods, or on a couple occasions we've been lucky enough to have Nero make some custom outfits for us, but he is not very quick. He will tell you it's not very quick, which is why I was so shocked when he agreed to do the charity stream. But maybe that was part of it. He wanted to challenge himself to speed things up. But he's never been very quick at doing them. I mean, part of it, I'm sure he's quick in the modeling and everything, but not quick to deliver because there's so many steps in doing a proper outfit. And so I didn't want to bug him again for Chapter 3 when our dev cycle was already running at a snail's pace. Cynical's learning how to make outfits, and she hopes to have introduced some in patches, but I don't know if the hospital gown will ever happen. That might be one of those things we'll just wait till somebody shows us a mod that has a good one, and hopefully that person will be kind enough to let us use it for extended users. Quad Johnny, I can't get Chapter 2 to start. What are you playing on? Are you on Xbox or PC? And what quest did you last complete? Carrock defeating the 5th faction raiders. Is there a raider quest line I don't know about that lets you defeat the other factions? Big Dave Game, is the bug with the Ron been fixed on the mission leverage where he keeps walking away? I mean, so several of us tried to replicate that and were unable to. So no, it hasn't been fixed. So in order for us to fix a bug, we basically need a SS2 only save that has it, or specific steps that we can reproduce it with. So it'd be like, all right, do this, then this, and this, which that's really hard to do, right? Giving reproducible steps, because who knows what steps could have caused things, especially late in the game like that. Like, you know, was it because you were using this gun? You know, like it took forever to determine that for where there's smoke was broken by see-through scopes. Like, holy cow, how would we figure that out? So it's a lot of trial and error. So it usually tends to be the bugs like that get fixed when somebody has it happen for them in an SS2 only playthrough, and then they send me their save file. Because once I have a save file, I can just analyze, like, all right, what stage failed to fire, or what AI packages are fighting each other. You know, did something not happen back here, and then we can put in catches for that scenario. So one of the reasons that we have trouble replicating things sometimes is not necessarily because the bug's not there. It'll be because when we're testing, we play a lot different than players do. So you guys, when you're playing, you don't know anything about what's going on under the hood, so you just play the game, right? And you sometimes will just be like, oh, what happens if I do this? Or maybe you ran ahead at a point where we didn't anticipate you would, and so we stand there and wait for an NPC to do a thing that we know they're about to do. So like as developers, it warps the way we play, and it makes us hard to catch. It makes it hard for us to catch things that other people see. So. So anybody running into that issue who has some free time, if you want to run a save forward there without any other mods, and send me the save file. I love getting save files for fixes. That is one of the most important things our alpha testing team does, is posts bug reports with saves that I can just load up and quickly repeat the issue. Near, how are you streaming right now? Yeah, I know. I gotta fly in a few hours. I want to keep in it's a good habit to keep in touch with everybody. So I'm gonna end soon. I'm just hanging out for a few more minutes to talk. Quad Johnny, I finished Sims 2. So you finished like Chapter 1 and then you installed Chapter 2? Is that what's going on? Because at the end of Chapter 1, spoiler alert, Jake should be kidnapped, and then you installed Chapter 2? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Karvok, it's this huge shame there's no raider fight against him. Originally, that was our intention with Conqueror. Is like, well, that wasn't originally intention. At some point in development, we had the intention of, in Conqueror, offering that as a path. Even if we come back and finish Conqueror, we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're just going to like finish the story arc we were on. But there was a point where we're like, okay, after we finish this story arc, which you've obviously seen Karbach, and then we had, you know, like 4 or 5 more quests after what you've seen so far. After we finished that, then we were like, all right, if we're still having fun, let's go do like a Raiders versus the factions. Like let's do like a little storyline where you fight the Brotherhood and the Railroad and the Institute as options, so that the player would have that as a way to complete the game. But there's no way that's going to happen now. If we get to do anything with Conqueror, it's going to be just wrapping up the Jammer storyline. You installed Chapter 2 with 1, and Chapter 2 didn't start. Well, I guess where are you? I don't know. What was the last quest you did, Quad Johnny? I would need to know what, because I don't know how familiar you are with the layout of the quest and everything about like what, because there's no like clear moment where it says Chapter 2. We used to have those markers, like when Chapter 1 was out, before Chapter 2 came out, there was a marker at the end of Chapter 1 where it'll be like, congratulations, you finished Chapter 1, stay tuned for Chapter 2. Same thing at the end of Chapter 2 we had that, and then when Chapter 3 came out we removed it, so like those pop-ups aren't there anymore. So the only indication we have when something's over is at the end of Chapter 3 there's like an actual credit sequence that will roll. So that's the only like indication we have now that you finished anything, other than the typical quest completed things. But there's no clear delineation between Chapters 1, 2, and 3 anymore. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna roll out in the next 5 minutes or so. Do need to get some sleep tonight, and then let me look at my calendar real quick. Let's see, where's my phone? So next week, if all goes to plan, next week I will be doing Xbox again, followed by Super Chats for Charity with Teresa's voice actor. Then I should be doing normal full-length stream the Wednesday after that, and then the 8th, the 8th, I have another flight the morning after. So the 8th will either be a no stream or a stream like this, where it's like we'll go for an hour and a half, and then I gotta cut it. And then it looks like the 15th is a big maybe. That's a big maybe on the stream, because I think I come home from a flight that day. Like I said, I got all sorts of flights. This time of year, the end of the year, like my kids are just off school all the time. So they changed our school schedules here dramatically, like added in way more days off, but also they go deeper into summer. So, but it's all packed around this time of year because I think they just recognized so many parents were just taking their kids out of school to go on vacations and stuff. So now we have more vacation than ever, and we just go places to visit family, since the kids are off and I work from home, can kind of do that. But less good for streaming. Better for kids, less good for streaming. Nancy's Jake getting kidnapped is the delineation between Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 is. Did Jake get kidnapped in your playthrough? You waited till Chapter 1 was finished, and I was waiting for Chapter 2 to start. So if you have Chapter 2 installed when you play the Chapter 1 stuff, there's like no break. It'll basically be, you come back, instead of coming back and Jake's just gone, you come back, Jake's gone, and Aiden is waiting there for you, and then the next quest starts immediately. There's no gap between them any longer. So I don't know, whatever, we would need to know what quest you were last finished, the name of it, and then we could probably help you, and also what you had installed at the time. But that's going to be your best bet. It's going to head to our forums and type that up. Just be like, here's the last quest I could find on my log. That was SS2. And like, this is the last thing that happened to me. You know, like I saw Aiden, or I came back with the what do you call it? The Mark 1, after doing the Mark 1 beacons, or whatever you last did, we would need a lot more information to trace through it. But there's a lot of helpful people on the forums that can probably guide you better than I can, because I think there are more people. Some of the people in our community are even more familiar with the story than any of us on the dev team are anymore, because there's just so much to wrap your head around. Carwalk, my idea was you take over all the raider gangs and then pressure, kill, or recruit the other factions. You could have the whole Aiden thing and stumble into SS2 stuff. Yeah, the tie-in with SS2 and Conqueror is going to be very minimal if we finally do it, I should say, because it would create such a messy web. that like there's too many moments in the Conqueror story where you are face to face with Aiden as the player for him not to just be like, what are you doing here? And then that should derail the whole story on both sides. So we can't, you know, you see Sir Rick's writing. He's not going to let something like that fly with just a brief casual conversation. It would have to be a whole big thing. So it would kind of break. So we'll have a point of no return in the story where it's just like, all right, you're either continuing our SS2 story or Jammer's story. So it'll be clear, it'll be heavily pushed as like an alternate playthrough. Like, you know what? I need a break from Jake's story. I'm gonna go do the Jammer story this time instead. Guys, Eddie, have fun. May you have plenty of legroom on your flights. Yeah, I'm not counting on it. I totally failed to check into my flight in time. I was like one of the last ones, so I think I'm a pretty terrible seat, but maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be I'll get a what do you call it, emergency exit row. That would be wonderful. I'll sacrifice electricity for my devices to have more legroom for sure. One, I'm not going to try your last name. I'm on Xbox, Starlight Drive-In, City Plans references 10 Pines and can't build a city plan at Starlight Drive-In. Any suggestions for this problem? So that means that your workshops array got all messed up. That usually happens if you uninstall a settlement or if something corrupted your settlements array. There is not a fix for that. Your save is buggered. So you just have to not work. You can just try not using that settlement. If you're not too deep in the save, I honestly would restart and be very careful about uninstalling mods in the middle of the playthrough. If you're positive you didn't uninstall any mods, I don't know what else would cause that bug, but that is almost always what causes it. Is a workshop, a mod that had a settlement in it getting uninstalled mid playthrough is usually what causes that. But it's a Bethesda game. Who knows what happened under the hood there? Alrighty, guys, time for me to crash. I will catch you next week. I will make a post on social media somewhere, on the YouTube channel, on Twitter or somewhere, or all of the above, to confirm once I'm sure Teresa's VA is in. Fairly certain we should be good, though. If not, next Wednesday, probably the Wednesday after. All right, guys.